Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live with Franz Clymer in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, you can do so on MySpace, where I have a page. This is called the Sanctuary for the Abused. It's basically a concept that would make it possible for women primarily, and women with children, to escape to safety when they are in danger from stalkers or an abusive husband or boyfriend. This idea, of course, would have been a lot better if we weren't in a recession right now. But it is something that each state could create and implement with the help of some of the private American industries like IBM, Microsoft, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and whatever. Here's how it works. A woman, let's say married woman with kids, 2 kids, has problems with her husband. Husband's beating on her, threatening to kill her. Well, she has to escape. Okay, let's say she doesn't have, no matter where she goes, she's just not going to be safe, and a restraining order just isn't going to do it. Well, what this lady could do, she could go to a judge. A judge would give her permission to enter into a sanctuary, like a military base, that's well protected, has fence, and actually police that man the gates, patrol the grounds, and this lady and her 2 kids, let's say 2 kids, would go there to live. There would be work waiting for them there. It's just temporary. There would be housing, and they would be well protected from her so-called abusive husband. I don't know how big it would be. It would be state by state. I'm sure there would have to be more than one in places like California or Texas or maybe even Alaska. But these sanctuaries, I just call them sanctuaries, may be the last resort and the only way some of these women and a few men, I guess, are going to survive. A restraining order just doesn't get it. How many times have we heard of a woman or even a man taking a restraining order out on a lover and they end up dead afterwards from them? I'll never forget the one in Vegas, I think it was a couple years ago, where a lady had to deliver her own restraining order to her ex-boyfriend at his house in Las Vegas. They just didn't have enough resources or manpower to deliver the restraining order. He chases around the house and kills her. And I think after that he kills himself. That's just unbelievable. So it's from that is where this idea derives from. We can do better at protecting people who are in danger of stalkers and abusive lovers or ex-lovers. And this is the only way that I know how we could do it. And I hope you would take this idea and pitch it to your congressman, pitch it, letter to the editor, whatever it takes to give this idea a chance of surviving and one day becoming a reality. We can use, in some places, close down military bases. But remember this, that to make it work, it's got to go through the judicial system. The person has to be in absolute danger. Usually, it would, if a lady has an ex-husband or a boyfriend that has a history of violence, I'd say that's pretty good enough to get her onto this place and the sanctuary. And there she can live in peace. It won't be forever, of course. And she can at least get some kind of employment until things can be resolved. I don't know how the ending would come on it. I don't know how long they would be there, how they would determine who stays there. This is something Congress or the states themselves would have to work out. And the employment would have to come from major industries around the country who would be willing to say, okay, we'll put something on the sanctuary base to employ people that have to come there who are abused. There may even be a school on there. Now, if the lady is employed, and a lot of women are today, almost as many women are employed as men now, whether she can go off the sanctuary base to work or not, I don't know. There's a lot of things that still have to be considered. I'm just planting a seed. I'm just providing the foundation for the concept. But it can work. And we can stop and can take a bite out of crime and do something about all of the domestic violence that's rampant in this world and rampant in America. And we could set the example. But this is the only way I know how to do this. You know, you just can't send someone and change their name all the time, and that's going to solve it. That's not going to solve it. But when you're only having to deal with one person that's a threat, this would work pretty good. Because as I pitched on the YouTube and on MySpace, something called the ankle bracelet. And that's where a man or woman with a history of violence is considered a threat, or has made threats to an ex-lover. The police could put an ankle bracelet on that person for a duration of time to know where they're at. And so if they try to go after that other person to harm them, the police will know it. They take the ankle bracelet off. The police can immediately notify that person that they're in danger, and they can respond. But in some areas, especially when it comes to stalkers, very dangerous stalkers, these sanctuaries, I call them like military bases, would be the best bet. And that would be the best way to go. But you have to get employers, industries, businesses involved so that these women that go on these bases can have employment. You have to have housing. It might be barracks-type housing temporarily. I don't know. All of these things would have to be considered. But I want you to get the idea of what we can do. And we can use a lot of military bases in this country that are closed down to house these people. And we could really, really move forward in fighting against domestic violence. It's a horrible, horrible crime. And I've seen a lot of violence in my life. And I've been at the receiving end of a lot of violence. So it's a very horrible experience. And we can do better. Thank you for your time.